Hello. Um, so a couple things I want to mention. Rob said that wheels were not really what wanted, and the length of this bar gets significantly pricier once I cross a 40-inch threshold. So to try to keep that under 40 inches, it just so happened that this is the length of that bar. Rather than replace the wheels with a longer bar that would cost me more, or some kind of spacer block or whatever, I just used the same part that I was bolting together in the corners as the foot. Okay. Uh, it just saves us some money. I think it looks fine. It should work fine. So that's my thought there. If you don't like that, just let me know. In the CAD model, I got these holes faced around backwards. Forgive me, those would turn around to the front. When they're in the front, I plan on coming out at a 90-degree angle with pipe fitting and then putting the filters. These two tanks in the front would be your paint tanks. We'll put filters out here on the corners so it's easy to get to the ball valves and drain it. While I'm on the topic of ball valves, these ball valves were $400 a piece, so 10 of them added another $4,000 to the job. I usually put all these jobs on my credit card, it cost me 20%, so I mark everything up 20%, which was even worse. I would rather tell you guys the part number and have you guys get your own ball valves. That was by far the most expensive part of my quote. Um, the float switch, Rob had a concern that the float switch would not keep the level at the right height. The float switch actually keeps the level at the exact same height that you're at now, which is about 4 inches lower than the top of the tank, and it's still below the level of this bung. Originally, I had planned on putting this bung in there because it would reduce welding time, but upon a closer inspection, the bung was $400 as well. I can weld a half coupling on there a lot cheaper than that. So even though there is a bung modeled in a bulkhead bung, I should call it. This is a bulkhead where you let me turn this lid off. There's a nut underneath, and you use that nut to pinch down on a gasket. Uh, that is not the way that I plan on doing it. I'm going to just weld a half coupling on there, which I did model down here. That's what it's going to look like up there. These are all sinks from the Webstaurant store to keep costs down. Rob asked for twice as much volume. These hold 12 gallons, even with the 4 inch missing at the top. I think they're 16 gallons if you fill them to the brim. That is more than double that what you have now. And then I plan on just making some laser cut discs that plug the sink hole, the sink drain hole, and then that'll give me a spot to put the two ball valve outlets on there. And I did do the math; these will spin next to each other and tighten down. So even though they're close together, they will actually be able to be installed. Aside from that, I've tried to keep everything the same. So like this bar is the same bar that goes over here. So there's 8 of those that go across the bottom, or one, two, three, four, five, 6 of those that go across the bottom. Um, this bar is the same as that bar. You get the idea. I made everything with holes because I like to do that so I can bolt it together. It makes my welding life way easier. I plan on bolting this whole thing together, then welding it, and then removing the bolts. I don't like bolts in here rubbing on those tanks, and I got modeled it that way. Everything's pretty well flush. So what you will see is probably holes just like this, but it'll have stitch welding all along the outside of this. Everything is 316 stainless. And if you have any other questions, let me know.